French for Beginners for English Speakers, Lesson 1. French for Beginners for English Speakers is meant for working class who want to take French for professional reasons and any other person willing to learn French to advance their career in various fields, e.g. in tourism, NGOs, banking, international relations, etc., etc. It is ideal for real English-speaking beginners with no notion of French and would like to have French as a second or third language. When dealing with professionals, in the first lesson, we always insist on starting with French accents and pronunciations, because it is very important to know the difference of pronunciation between French and English right from the start. There are 4 French accents for vowels and 1 accent for a consonant. 1. The accent aigu, acute accent, can only be on an E and often indicates that the word is used as a past participle which has something to do with the past. 2. The accent grave, grave accent, can be found on an A, E, or U. On the A and U, it usually serves to distinguish between words that would otherwise be homographs, e.g. OU, which means or, versus OU with the accent, which means where. The accent circumflex, that is 3, circumflex accent, can be on an A, E, I, or U. The circumflex usually indicates that an S used to follow that vowel, e.g. forêt, which means forest. It also serves to distinguish between homographs, homographs which means words that are written the same that have different meanings. For example, DU, which is a contraction of DE plus LE, versus DU with an accent, which is the past participle of devoir. Devoir as a verb means must, as a noun means duty. 4. The accent tremor, which is otherwise known as diaresis or umlaut, can be on an E, I, or U. It is used when 2 vowels are next to each other and both must be pronounced, e.g. naive, Saul, or mais. Naive, which means, like in English, somebody who is naive, Saul, which is soul, or mais, which means maize. And the last is the cedi. The cedi is found only on the letter C. It changes a hard C like K into a soft C sound like S, e.g. garçon. Garçon, which means boy. I think most of you have heard about that word, garçon. The cedi, in French you say the cedi, because when an I meets 2 L in French, there's a pronunciation goes like cedi. It's never placed in front of an E or I, because C always sounds like an S in front of these vowels. You'll never find them in front of an E. More examples. It is essential to put accents in their proper places. An incorrect or missing accent in French is a spelling mistake, just as an incorrect or missing letter would be. The only exception to this is capital letters, which are often left unaccented. Should capital letters be accented in French? You may have heard that capital letters are supposed to be accented, when in fact whether or not to use accents on capital letters is entirely up to you. Most of the time they are not essential, and thus most French speakers leave them off. However, there are 2 instances where you should always use accents on capital letters. 1. When the accent or lack thereof distinguishes between 2 words. Look at what happens when biscuit salé, salted crackers, is written in all caps. Biscuit sale, dirty crackers. Yum yum, definitely it's better to write biscuit salé. N'est-ce pas? N'est-ce pas means isn't it? In proper names, such as the name of a company or a person's name, I feel it's important both to show respect to organizations, people, by spelling their names correctly, as well as to make sure that the person who reads the name knows how it should be spelled. If you don't write the accent, when the name is all in caps, your reader may not realize that there is an accent when later writing the name in regular letters. Pronunciations. In French, pronouncing is quite different compared to English. For example, a word like moi. My best bet is Kenyan speakers are wondering what their former president is doing in their French lesson. Actually, in French, the word is pronounced moi, and it means me. When vowels meet in French, different sounds from the ones known in English are normally pronounced. AU is O, like in boat. AI is A, like in cake. OU is U, like in cool. When vowels meet consonants, sounds are produced as well, like AN is on, like in corn. EM is like in Tom. ES is A, like in bale. IN is A, like in pa. UN is A, like in ma. EU is U, like in blue. AM is like in common. For example, if you apply this on how to pronounce days of the week or months of the year or count 1 up to 10, you can start pronouncing French words like it should be pronounced. For the coming lessons, please apply this pronunciation formula.